And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the Tommy Truth, centered around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and over 80 other show categories where we all want to entertain, we want to educate you, we want to enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone and save our consumer advocate hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894.
Baby, don't forget my number.
Don't forget our number. We want you to also bookmark realestateradiotampa.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you there, as well as links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay that we've assembled and we put together, we've vetted, and they are the best. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing, help you think a layer deeper, make you more street smart out there, and avoid all that commission-based advice and sensationalism that's out there in the mainstream media. It seems no matter where you look these days, you got sensationalism, the news trying to sell these types of things, these different Kardashian stories, things that does not matter for you, and that's what this show's all about, is how to help you win. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. And we want to remind you as well, you can watch the live stream. If you are on your smartphone, you can pull up, or your computer, just open up the Google Chrome app and go to realestateradiotampa.com/live stream. And you can also check it out on WeBeam TV. WeBeam TV is our partner, and they do all the TV streaming for us. So let's go ahead and round the horn here, make our introductions. Back in studio, Cynthia Bloss, On Task Concierge. Welcome back in.
Thank you, Brandon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All of us spend most of our days working in our businesses, but we don't really have time to spend with our families. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to clean up your day at your office and your desk and make that run a little bit smoother for you. And I have a few life hacks for moms and anybody at home that might do some laundry and getting things out of their stains out of their clothes. Just little things that'll help you through your day.
Love it, love it. Also in studio, Sara Chiarelli, Artful Conceptions. Welcome back in.
Thanks for having me back, Brandon. It's great to be here. So I thought we'd kind of talk a little bit about the design process, what we go through, how we work with our clients. And then I brought some samples in, some new ideas, some trends. And of course, today we brought some of the luxury lines in today.
Awesome. Yeah, it's all about style and it's all about interior design, helping you maximize your real estate look that you have, a lot of times increasing that sales price and the ability to come in and have Sara come in and help you design that new style that you might be looking for, getting some stuff that works, some things that are not necessarily trendy, but things that are going to have that long life cycle as well and are easy to change out. And so we're here in the studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa here, and we talk about Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, and the awesome real estate opportunities as well on this show. I want to feature a couple of hot listings that we've got. 13235 Gulf Boulevard, number 409 in Madeira Beach. Now, this is a beautiful property, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo-tel. So it's very interesting. It's basically how you can have a passive income property here. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, Madeira Bay Resort Condo 2, and it's only $239,000. I mean, what a great investment opportunity. You have an opportunity to have a place to go on vacation yourself, kind of have like a little mini staycation, but then also when you're not there, it kind of serves as a hotel. It's like a condo-tel, and then you can rent it out and create a lot of income. So you walk across the street and you put your feet into the sugar sands of Madeira Beach, Florida.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, and this segment is brought to you by Back in Health Massage. Give a shout out, big shout out to Michael Vogt, my expert massage therapist with the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Back in Health Massage voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the Tampa Bay Business Journal's readers. And multiple times he's been voted the Best in the Biz Awards is Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist. Great location, centrally located right by Del Mabry and the Gun Highway intersection there. And also give a shout out to Ray Milton with Ray's Vegan Soul, where I'll hit you with a flavor. He cooks these awesome meals. He's a personal chef, and it will deliver food to you. You take it around with you wherever you're traveling the day. And a big shout out to Michael as well as Ray Milton with Ray's Vegan Soul. And I want to remind you, we have our Real Estate Quarterbacks Consumer Advocate Playbook available out there on Amazon or even Barnes & Noble. Just check it out. We'd love for you to leave us a review and like it and share it and download a copy. By the way, if you text in for the book or if you call in for any offers that you hear during the show, we'll give you a free autographed copy of this as well. We'll mail it directly to you. Just give us a call on our hotline, first 3 listeners who reach out. You know, again, the whole purpose of this show, what we set this up for, is to help entertain, educate, enlighten, but most importantly, it's engage. You know, we talk a lot about real estate on this show. You know, finance, credit, you know, identity theft prevention and recovery, ways that you can live a better life, and it's up to you to engage, and that's what we really love. We love it when you reach out. You can hit us up on the form at the website, realestateradiotampa.com, or you can give us a call directly on our hotline, 917-1894. So let's go ahead and jump into this content. Cynthia, on Task Concierge, I love the concept of your business model. You talk about creating that 25th hour in the day, and really, you know, have some really awesome life hacks and ways that you can help, you know, business owners or even, you know, stay-at-home moms. Your business kind of caters to everyone.
Correct. I'm doing a lot of work with businesses, but also personal concierge work. I'll just start with what is a concierge, because many people don't know what a concierge is. They think of it as somebody who works in a hotel and, you know, gets the newspaper for them or finds them a restaurant.
Right.
I actually am a concierge for the personal and or the corporate world, where I help organize tasks and get people moving and get them out of their rut that they're in and sort of get their day accomplished for them.
Yeah, I love it. I love your story. You know, early in the career, you were working with bigger companies, and you're
Correct.
kind of in that corporate carousel, so to speak. You
Yes.
know, and now you're working for yourself. You seem happier than ever. I see the energy coming out of you.
Yeah, corporate world is great, and it's a great place to start out in, and you develop your own routine, but it also can weigh you down depending
Right.
on how you deal with it. So I developed a few life hacks throughout my career because I was running a program and teaching 16 hours a day, and I really needed to maximize my time. So in order to do that, I had to develop some skill sets that really got me through the day, and as a result of that, On Task Concierge was born. So here I am to talk more about it and what you can do in your professional life and even personal life to get that done for you as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, there's so many ways now, especially you can utilize technology to, you know, be more organized, save time, and as you say, create that 25th hour in the day.
Yes, it's my favorite thing, 25th hour. I'm doing some work for some people that just really don't have that kind of time. They have families, and
Right.
they want to go home and spend time with them, and they're taking them to baseball games or soccer games. Just want to spend some quality time. Nobody gets to eat dinner with anyone anymore.
Yeah.
So this is something I can do to help them get through their day. And it doesn't even have to be just the stay-at-home mom. It can be someone in the corporate world that just can't get their emails accomplished, or maybe their meetings. I have a little trick for a meeting. You don't have to really sit down anymore and have a meeting with people. That just wastes sometimes a couple of hours of your day.
Yeah.
There's other ways of handling that. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well.
Yeah, we'll jump into some of the key strategies, and you know, there's awesome apps that you can utilize for, you know, one of the ones we were working with together
Yes.
is the Cam card.
Yes.
You take a picture of the card, it populates it right into the system, and then you can upload that, I guess, you know, to a spreadsheet. There's so many ways
Yes,
you
you
can
can.
use
You can upload it to a spreadsheet and also SMS it out to your everyone if you're going to send a blast email or a text message, and utilize it that way. It's a great piece of technology, and all your cards are in your phone.
Yeah.
So rather than having them in a box that some people just carry around with them, you can just have them in your phone and have access to them at any time. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's great. And then you can use that data. You can use that database. So that's some businesses, they talk about. You go around and you utilize the contacts. We think about how much effort we put into going out and getting a new business partner.
Correct.
Or a new business client. But then we have this database of, like you said, cards, business cards, flyers. We have, we go to these networking groups and we have all these cards. So, there's a way that you can utilize that data as well as your previous client list and keep, stay close to your previous clients, because those are going to be the ones that are going to be able to refer you the best.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to jump into that. We're going to dive a little bit deeper with Cynthia Bloss, as well as we're going to bring Sara Chiarelli into the conversation. Interior designer, very well-respected interior designer here in Tampa Bay. Artful Conceptions, got a real cool portfolio of business that she's done, and she's doing a couple of cool things over in Clearwater Beach right now. And we're also going to talk about former Buccaneers coach Greg Schiano sells Tampa home for a near record, and we're going to let you know what that near record was. And stay with us. The best is yet to come. You're listening to a Real Estate Quarterback Show. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate. Stay with us. The best is yet to come. RealEstateRadioTampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show and the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as the owner of Platinum MVP Realty. I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, recognized for innovations with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. as well as the Tampa Bay Business Journal and the Tribune. And by the way, if you're a seller out there, if you're on the fence of potentially selling or maybe know someone who is and you want a free comparable market analysis, we'll do that for you. All you have to do is call us up on the hotline at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
813-917-1894. Shoot us a call or a text, and we'll get you a free comparable market analysis out there. And this segment is brought to you by Hula Bay. It's the official restaurant partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Go say hello to Mike Finnegan down at Hula Bay's on Tyson Avenue, just south of Gandy, west of West Shore down south, right next to Freedom Boat Club. Awesome waterfront dining experience. And sushi, great seafood, awesome food, and a wonderful ambiance. Go say hello to Mike Finnegan, the general manager there. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. He's going to take care of you down there. So we've got 414 South Royal Palm Way here in Beach Park. I got 2 hot listings right here in Beach Park. Awesome listings right in the 33609 zip code. It's one of the most popular zip codes in all of Tampa Bay. Is the Beach Park, 414 South Royal Palm Way, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, over $1.195 million list price, over 4,800 square feet heated. Beautiful buying opportunity. It's a gorgeous property. And we also have another property right around the corner on Beach Park Drive, 4618 West Beach Park Drive in Tampa, 33609. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 1 half bath, listed at $799,000. Great buying opportunity, immaculate, well-kept home, over 2,556 square feet. So just a little sampling there, some of our property listings of the month that we have. So we're here in studio. We're talking with Cynthia Bloss on Task Concierge, and we're also going to bring Sara Chiarelli into the conversation here momentarily. She's the owner of Artful Conceptions, interior design expert contributor on the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And so let's go back to that, Cynthia. Between the break, we were kind of talking about, some of the other points that you want to make and some other life hacks, some business strategies to employ.
One of the things is you go into your office in the morning and you probably have 75 emails waiting for you. And I am a big fanatic about answering emails timely, but if you're inundated with the emails, you're not going to be able to get to some of the tasks, meetings, and other things that you need to get done during the day.
Right.
So it's actually a good idea maybe just to take 15 minutes or 20 minutes and shut off your email and turn off your cell phone. Everybody has their cell phone right at their desk, but it's, your mom calling you or your kids calling you just saying, hey, what are they doing?
Yep.
And it's really not productive, and it's not productive for you. They know you're at work, and they can get back to you at a time. So actually, when you do this, it is going to give you some more time in your day, probably 15, 20 minutes every half hour that you would have wasted answering phone calls. And when the emails come in, on a regular basis, you're looking at them and thinking, how am I going to answer this, rather than dealing with them one at a time, one right after the other at a given specific time that's laid out for you.
I love it. And there's studies done on that. When the productivity that we have. Let's face it, we live in this. I often joke about the social media. I have a funny line I say here, but it's a texting, tweeting, and twerking world, right? So we got Twitter, you got Facebook, Instagram. But what happens is, as business owners, even if you're not an owner, if you're just an employee or you're working, whatever type of strategy you have. Whenever you get the cell phone ringing and then you feel like you have to answer the text or the tweet, and then you look at your inbox, the same thing. So I appreciate what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Basically, what you want to do is block off that undivided time where you can have some clear thinking. And you also, I remember I was reading a book, I think it was a Dale Carnegie book, where he's talking about, he looks at his desk sometimes as a stove. You've got the front burners and you got the back burners.
Yes.
So he says sometimes he'll put some stuff on the back burner,
right,
and then look back later and have some set aside time to reflect on what he's looking at, and then yes. And another one of my friends used to be a platinum partner with Tony Robbins, where you travel worldwide with Tony, go on these all these awesome cool trips, and these high achievers. They actually do the strategies that we're talking about here. They will turn their phones on do not disturb. Do not disturb. Yeah. So that way they have that time when they're meeting with someone, even as a sign of respect.
Right, because people can actually tell when you're rushed on a telephone call.
Yep.
And then they feel that they're not getting the attention that they deserve, and it will make a bad client relationship for you. So it's better to have that time blocked off so you can answer the texts, emails, phone calls, all when it's good for you and you're not being disturbed.
That's right. They can tell if you're surfing on the other line, if you're looking on the waves there on the screen. They can tell if you're smiling behind the phone. I remember taking a professional teleselling class back in the day when I worked with H&R Block Mortgage some 8-9 years ago. I don't remember how long ago. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Cynthia Bloss here on Task Concierge. And let's go ahead and bring Sara Chiarelli into the conversation. She's an expert contributor in the areas of interior design, and she's the owner of Artful Conception. So what else are you seeing out there?
Well, we're seeing a lot of things, and the biggest thing that we're seeing right now coming on is luxury. It's all about luxury. It's about luxe fabric lines. It's about luxury wallpapers. It's all those things that we weren't doing for a while, because when the market was down, everybody was kind of like, okay, I want bare necessities. And those that were still really comfortable and still had the money weren't flaunting it. They weren't putting it out there. They weren't doing the extra stuff that we had been doing, because it felt awkward. People didn't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? We wanted to be a little bit more sedate about things. So that's all kind of out the window now.
But it's an election year. That's what you always hear. Oh, it's an election year.
Yeah.
It may be an election year. I think that, and I'm not going to get political at all, but
Let's
I think...
Thank you.
But I think that we are at a point where we're going, you know what, whatever is going on politics-wise, our real estate's going up. People are buying. People are back out there. People are putting money back into the markets. They're doing stuff. They're, everything's up all the way around. And with everything up all the way around, people are coming back and saying, yes, I want some of that flocking on things. I want all those little extra stuff. Let's do the crown molding. Let's do the crown molding with the shadow molding. Let's do the multiple tones. Let's do decorative panels on ceilings. Let's bring in a muralist. Let's do those things that we were afraid to do before, because we felt like we were going to be ostentatious for doing those extras that we were doing. And it's there, and there's so many great options. And at the same time, what's also happened, because of the market being down for a while and people weren't involved in all of those things, companies got better and they got smarter to figure out how they were going to get those luxury items into people's hands. So they reformulated things. They brought them in at better prices. They gave us more opportunities. And they put things in our hands as designers that were harder to get before. That it was, you weren't touching that, you couldn't buy this line if you didn't have a showroom that was 3,000 square feet, and if you weren't flooring 5 different sofa styles from them. They were really particular about not sending that to designers and keeping them out of the loop. Well, they realized that designers are the ones that are actually bringing it to them. So now we have better pricing than your furniture stores. We have better pricing than your tile stores. We have better pricing than your paint stores and all that kind of a thing, because companies realized, wait a minute, our designers are still working. So we're getting all of that in our hands, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so that's an interesting dynamic. So you're saying that if the homeowner comes to you directly and they say, hey, we've got this remodel job that we're thinking about doing. It's going to involve cabinetry. It's going to involve tile. It's going to involve wallpaper. It's going to involve those types of materials. You're saying that you're able to, as the designer, you get deeper discounts.
We do, and it's a concept that goes on in a couple different ways. And I also want to talk about how that process works for that client, and why we should be the first person that they bring in, not the last person. Because a lot of times they bring in a contractor first before they bring in a designer, and that can get really sticky. That leads, my personal opinion, that leads to mistakes being done on the job.
Change orders,
lack of clarity in design, and all that kind of a thing. But yeah, because when we're working, we go to a tile wholesaler, we might bring them 5, 6, 7 contractors, because we're working with a whole bunch of different people. Whereas a contractor, a home builder, can only build so many houses a year. Your real custom home builders, they're going to build maybe 5 or 6 homes a year on your really super large customs, not your, and then you even have your track builders. Again, they're going to only build so many homes per year. But if I'm working with 6 or 7 or 8 different builders, now they've got, instead of 5 houses per year for that supplier, now with 6 of them, Now they've got 30 newer houses. So, that's kind of how we get there and get those better prices for our clients, because we're doing more volume with more people for those suppliers.
Awesome. Love it. Hey, another consumer tip there for you. If you're looking at a redesign, remodel, we're going to get you in touch with Sara Chiarelli, Artful Conceptions. Stay with us. We're going to bring Sara back, talk more about some of the things happening, what she talks about. We'll get into more specifics, as well as former Buccaneers coach Greg Schiano sells Tampa home for near record high. We want to tell you what this is. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty. And we're back here in studio. This segment is brought to you by Electric Today. Service today without delay. We want to give a big shout out to Manny Polizzi over at Electric Today. They do electrical and air conditioning work in existing homes and businesses. For all of your electrical and air conditioning needs, call Electric Today. Service today without delay. Shout out to Manny Polizzi, as well as the official cleaning partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Give a big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties, and that's 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They come in and out, 4 fine folks in and out. That way they're in and an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're done. It's not the all-day, half-day cleaning services that you're maybe normal from what you've seen. So 2 great partners of the show, and we also have 2 other awesome partners in studio here as well, on-air contributors, what we call our expert contributors here in studio. And by the way, if you're a business owner out there and you're looking to grow your business, we want to talk to you about this on-air branding package that we offer, and you will be featured on the show once every 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to get video and MP3 legacy content that you can then repurpose on all of your social medias, your emails, your websites. You're also going to have invites to our monthly gratitude parties. We have these awesome parties with catered food, beer and wine. A lot of times we'll do it at the studio here, or we'll have it at our restaurant partner. We had a pool party last month, a good time, and an opportunity to network with our other partners, as well as an opportunity to become a published author and featured in the next edition of our Consumer Advocate Playbook, and of course introductions to any of our partners and past guests on the show, and a lot of cool things: social media, website, radio, blogging, press releases to promote you and help you win as a business owner out there. So we have this on-air branding package. All you have to do is reach out to our hotline. It's 813-917-1894, and select categories will be interviewed for that exclusive seat. And, of course, we'll do all the vetting and everything as well. So 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Just call us on our hotline. You know, we love it when it blings like that. But we're back here. We're talking with Sara Chiarelli here. We were talking about before the break, and you were saying, and I love to get the pulse from the business owners out there, you know, what you're seeing out there. And you said a lot of your clients are you know, they're willing to spend that extra dollar.
Absolutely. I think that they spent way too much time not spending it, and they want what they want. And it's definitely, with the economy coming up and things are going and things are selling. And, you know, I'll have clients that set benchmarks and say, oh, well, when this and this happen, then we're good to go on this next property, or we're good to go on that one. And it's happening. Like, they're thinking it's going to happen in a long period of time. And the next thing I know, 2 months later, I got a phone call and says, okay, well, you know what? What I thought we were going to do in 6 months, we're doing now. Or,
Boom.
you know, and they're just right on it because of the economy coming up. And they're doing it and they're spending it.
Love it. 10Xing it out there. They're 10Xing it. And that's, and that's one thing I like to break down, too. When we hear these national numbers and we see these different columnists, or maybe even on one of the national news networks, you know, they're talking about, oh, could there be another housing bubble, or could they, you know, they're using that fear to sell, just like they always do. And what I say, especially here in Florida, and then you break down Florida into Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, you know, Lakeland, you know, Sarasota. What, you know, this area that we live in, I think, is very well insulated from what a lot of these national numbers show. When you pull out and you look at the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, they're going to give you macro numbers. They're going to give you things happening across the United States as a whole. And then if you break it out even further from that, if you think on a macro level and you look at what's going on in the Middle East, or even with the Brexit vote, you know, we are Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Clearwater, you know, in the United States in general, we're the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry, so to speak. And then when you look at Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, you look at you know, the awesome sports teams, the fine dining, the entertainment. You know, there's so many things to do here, and it's just such an awesome place to live, work, and play.
No shoes, no shirt, and no problem.
Enjoy the peace waters, of course, that we have here. So yeah, what else are you seeing?
So, and you know what, that even goes on to further as to why a lot of times we're working out of the state, because we can still actually produce things here and do them better at a better price, and transport into anywhere in the country, usually, and at a much better price, because we're still not at the price that things are in New York or New England or California or anything like that. So we help our clients out in that way too, in that if they have a home here or they have a home in another state or anywhere else, we go work there too with them to make sure that they're getting exactly what they want.
That's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty neat to mention too, like a home that you do here, like a beach style home, or maybe it might be something along those lines. It's going to be a different style than you're going to have maybe in the Northeast, or different place. Maybe they have a beautiful home in Colorado, for example, a little mountain theme. So maybe speak to that.
Absolutely. And we do that. And we work directly with our clients to know what it is that they want to feel and see in that home. My number one objective when they walk into their home is that they get a big hug from their home. They need to feel like, like that's where we want to be. And so we work with them to get all those thoughts and images and things out of the back of their minds to know what it is that we need to achieve. And absolutely, our clients that have a home down here, we're going to do one version down here. Maybe they've got a beach house here. Maybe they've got another house in town.
Yep.
Maybe they've also got a house somewhere in another state,
Right.
Ohio, New York, Connecticut. We travel those areas a lot because that tends to be the areas where they have multiple homes, and it's going to be completely different because we have to design for that area to be specific for that area and so that it functions for them, because function is just as much as it has to look good as it has to function well for
Right.
it.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. It's a great point. If you just joined us, that's Sara Chiarelli. She's the owner of Artful Conceptions here in Tampa Bay. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host, Real Estate Quarterback Show. Let's go ahead and bring Cynthia back into the conversation. Cynthia Bloss here with On Task Concierge, talking about these life hacks, these business strategies that can help you. And she's a personal concierge here in Tampa Bay that can help you with a variety of different types of services to help save your time, help create that 25th hour for you. But I think we were talking specifically, we're going to go into the office now. So so we talk about, you walk in, like Sara mentioned, you walk in the front door, you've got your beautiful, your foyer, you've got maybe you're walking into the dining area or the family area. But then when you go into that office, a lot of times, we all work from home. A lot of us, and that's a time to, get some good time work time in outside of the actual corporate office. So let's talk about
Correct.
the office a little bit.
It can be your home office or your work office, but just like Sara said, if it's not really the place that you want to be, you're not going to want to get anything done there. So you want to make it user-friendly. You want to make it cozy and happy and some place that you want to be, whether it's your home office or the office that you walk into at 7:30 or 8 o'clock every morning. And if your office, a lot of us have cubicles in our office, and sometimes they're a little too small.
Right.
So you have to maximize the use of that space, and a lot of us bring things from home, like 25 pictures of their kids and 5 mugs and different things that are all over your desk, but there's no place to actually work. So decluttering your desk is huge in terms of getting and accomplishing your day's tasks. There's a lot of organizational systems out there, and just talk to your boss and go and see if there's something that you can get done. I know, Sara, you do a lot of design work, and I'm actually going in and setting up an office in a couple of weeks for a huge corporation. So I'll be doing some of that type of work, and I've already have things in my head as to what I want to do for each of the cubicles. Nothing is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be color-coded so no one's stealing different people's staplers. It's going to be really interesting.
I love it.
Yeah, how everybody says, that's my stapler, even though they peeled the name tag off of it, there's going to be different colors. So I really think if you could just, hit on a few of those things of organizational systems in the office, it would be helpful.
Absolutely. So when we design an office, we want to talk to the person who's going to be using the office to know how they work best. So some people might say, I work well with an inbox system where I have, papers go here, this has to be done, this is my filing. Some people are a folder person, some people are a drawer person, so what we want to do when we design an office is know how that person's going to work so that when we purchase their furniture with them and help them design it, that they can function well. Because let's be honest, everybody organizes a little bit differently, and what may work for one person doesn't work for another. I'm sure you can tell us all about that.
Exactly.
And so what we want to do when we design it is to make sure that that's incorporated into the design. Do you need 2 desks? Do you need a desk and a credenza? Do you need, where are you that it works for you to do that design?
And one of the up and coming things is the ergonomic desk. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I love that idea.
yeah, so you're not just sitting at your desk all day and you're getting back pain and your keyboard isn't in the right position for you, but you have the ability to stand and or sit. Some people even have treadmills in their office and they can work, doing some of their work on their treadmill if they're on the phone. So there's many different things that can make us more productive in the office that you really, 15, 20 years ago, that would just not have been thought of. But I think that we're spending more time in the office, so we want to maximize that time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Some great ideas. That treadmill desk. You're walking. You got your laptop maybe in front of you. You're on the phone. Do it slow. I guess you can't do too fast.
Too fast, you're panting, right?
I feel like for me too, just to figure what style is because I want more space where I can just put different things, different categories, folders, setting down ideas.
Yeah. So just organizational systems. systems or boxes.
Stay
for
with us.
each.
Yeah, when we come back, let's jump into that, Cynthia. And so stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Former Buccaneers coach Greg Schiano sells Tampa home for near record. We're going to let you know. Don't touch that dial. I'll be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes, Real Estate Quarterback Show in studio here in South Tampa, beautiful South Tampa, and iHeartRadio. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., your most important hour on the radio. It's consumer advocate advice, ways to help you live a better life, make you think a little bit more street smart, and think a layer deeper and avoid all that commission-based advice. Giving that helicopter view of the marketplace out there every day. And then also on the weekends, we have the show on 102.5 The Bone on Sunday morning over there, bright and early, 7 a.m. So, and before we jump back into this great content, again in studio, we have Cynthia Bloss on Task Concierge, as well as Sara Chiarelli with Artful Conceptions. I want to touch on another $1 million listing that we've got here with Platinum MVP Realty. This one's compliments of Victor Alleman. We've got 249 Dogwood Trace over in Tarpon Springs. Beautiful property in the Oak Hill Acres. 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, over 5,485 square feet. And the room upstairs, the master suite, has over, gosh, where is it? 4.5 acres here total, and it's the master suite itself is something like 2,000 square feet just for the master suite. $1.15 million, 249 Dogwood Trace in Tarpon Springs. Check it out at realestateradio.tampa.com. Also, 0 Point Seaside Drive, Crystal Beach. Beautiful buying opportunity. Now, this is a vacant parcel of land here. And Ogden Bayou, overlooking the beautiful Ogden Bayou subdivision here, waterfront. and it's listed at $299,000. Great buying opportunity. Owners just reduced it. 0 Point Seaside Drive, Crystal Beach. So for this or any of your real estate questions, comments, concerns, things happening out there, again, over 80 show partners, 80 different categories. We've got health experts on the show, recreation, CPAs, financial advisors, 7 or 8 different types of attorneys with law. So we want you reaching out, no matter what you're facing out there, identity theft prevention, credit improvement. We want to help you win. We want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial wheel, and each spoke extending out representing another one of our preferred partners, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we put together to help you win. So let's go ahead and we're going to enter our lightning round. All right, lightning round here. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Let's start right here with Cynthia Bloss, on task concierge.
Okay, one of the things that I think is very important is to get rid of your low priorities first during the day so you have time to focus on the big tasks. Okay. So if it's just, going through a few little emails, I have this to get it done, and then it's off your plate. Make a checklist. It can be on your phone, it can be on your computer, or it can just be a piece of paper if that's how you like to do it. You said Sarah said everybody likes to organize their day differently, but getting rid of those low task priorities first maximizes your time for the day and gives you more time because you don't really know what's going to come up during your day that you have to deal with. So that little stuff, it's off your plate.
Excellent. Sarah?
So let's keep on the idea of that office design kind of a thing. And if you're the boss, if you're the executive, go for a standing desk. Remove the chairs out of your room. It will keep your employees from coming in and plopping down at a chair and taking up most of your time. Yep. And it'll also keep you more on task and a streamlined design.
Yeah, one of my favorites as well. Of course, Anthony Robbins' Business Mastery course, Namali Fiji. We had Chet Holmes, the ultimate sales machine, the late Chet Holmes, but he actually did a whole chapter about the old "got a minute." Everybody comes to his door, "Got a minute," and he posted. He sent out this memo one time. He told me, big organization. He said, "No, I do not have a minute." He said, "But if you want to schedule a time with me, we can do it," because what happens is, as a business owner, not only nowadays are you competing with your phones, with text messages, and if you can avoid your emails as well, you got the people knocking on with the old "got a minute" request, and they just expect they can walk in and take a minute of your time. But great point. It helps you be more efficient, and then on the point, Cynthia, that you were making as well, there's different strategies. Some of the the other books I've read, with talking about Stephen Covey and some of the folks they're talking about. Do the worst first. Like if you have a task that you've been thinking of and you say, "Oh man, that's just overwhelming," they say sometimes maybe attack that one first. There's different strategies for each person, right? Because that's going to be, when you're most efficient. Maybe you just completed your morning workout or your morning meditation and prayer, and you're coming. So
you're more motivated.
Yeah. Do the worst first. Tackle that big task. And it's going to be different for everyone. But I love the ideas of these life hacks as well. Let's go around again for another lightning round here of top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Your best advice, nuggets of advice for our listeners.
I think we had talked about this before, but optimizing your commute to work. A lot of us that live in Tampa Bay are crossing bridges. The other day, the Skyway was closed. People were on the road for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
A listing appointment in Bradenton.
So, what do you do with that time if you can't? Yeah, I was coming back on the Skyway last week, and there was an accident, 2.5 hours. So what do you do? You can make some phone calls. You can make some appointments, but also it's a great time to utilize for yourself. Do some meditation. Put in a CD that you haven't listened to in a really long time. Right. Rock some music out. Just relax a little bit. That's going to make you more productive when you get home because you're going to have to work when you get home.
Yeah, I like to think about it as a university on wheels. I mean, let's think about if you add up the hours that we're in our vehicle driving from appointment to appointment or wherever we might be heading during our daily commutes. I like to think of my vehicles as a university on wheels, and I plug in all the different types of educational CDs. These days you can pull it up on your smartphone. A lot of it's free on YouTube or SoundCloud. These are ways that you can invest in your life, invest in your business, leave a better legacy for your children by increasing your knowledge. Let's face it, right here at the point in time that we're sitting here right today, the one of the most valuable things we all have as business owners out there, or just in general, is the cumulative amount of knowledge, skills, and abilities that we've built up to this point in our life, and that's what helps us make money and earn a living. I guess not make money. They say if you're making money, you work at the Mint. But if you earn money, right? So if you're able to increase your knowledge and increase your base of skills, abilities, specializations, then that's your cumulative knowledge going forward. You're going to add value, and you're going to be able to demand more money if you're at a W-2 type job, or potentially look at being self-employed, maximize your self-employed status. Sarah?
Okay, I'm going to go back to that office space again, and we're going to talk about how you want to make sure you're designing your employees' office areas. One recommendation that I always give is make sure that there is a chair where we took all the chairs out of your office as the boss. We put an extra chair into your employee's office next to their desk so that you have the ability to sit down with them during the day and really actually have a go over of where they're at with things. Makes it a more friendly environment. You're able to do it in their space, so that puts them at ease, and it gives you the ability to have a space to really go through those things with them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great point. You sit down, the boss can sit down and kind of catch up with you, kind of have like a pipeline meeting, to use a mortgage phrase there, you're going to sit down and you're going to go through, hey, what's pressing? What can I help with? What do you need more help with? And then and I'm sure the employee is going to appreciate that. And it's all about the design. And then if you just joined us, that's Sara Chiarelli. She's the owner of Artful Conceptions here in Tampa Bay, a expert contributor on the Real Estate Quarterback Show in the areas of interior design, as well as Cynthia Bloss here as well on Task Concierge. And for the motivational minute for me today is going to be about a way that Napoleon Hill. We've all heard of Napoleon Hill talking about success principles. He went around and interviewed 500 of the best and brightest business owners back in the day. We're talking about Ford and Carnegie and you name them, they're on there. They're on that list. So what he said is the last chapter of his last book. It all boiled down to the number one success trait of all time, according to Napoleon Hill, is the power of self-discipline. So he says, with it, everything works. Without it, nothing works. And it's the ability, simply defined as the ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. And that sometimes is more difficult than others. But what's awesome about that with self-discipline, a lot of us athletes and folks that are, in those areas, when you take that action item and you make yourself do something, you get momentum. You get momentum. And Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard did a study of why do people move from lower economic classes to higher economic classes. And he said one of the main things is to have a long-term time perspective. So when you look out, instead of doing something that's here and now and it's in the future and it may be tension relieving, it might be tension relieving to go out and have a happy hour and have a drink here and there. And don't get me wrong, it's good to do every now and then. But when you have a long time perspective, so you're going to look further into the future and look at things that are going to help you build a legacy and help you build on that future. So it's Dr. Edward Banfield said, the perspective, the longer you look into the future, is a key success principle, as well as Jim Rohn, one of my favorites, was a quote of his that says, "Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons." So that's a big one there as well. So I want to thank my expert contributors for coming into the studio today, and Cynthia Bloss on Task Concierge. It's your 25th hour in the day, as well as Sara Chiarelli, Artful Conceptions. I want to remind you as listeners out there, thanks so much for listening as well, but check out some of our legacy content. Go to our YouTube channel. We've got great content on there, all types of different categories to help you win no matter what you're facing, as well as our iTunes podcast. So I would urge you to download our iTunes podcast, check it out. And again, if you're a business owner out there, you want to get involved with the show, all you have to do is reach out to our hotline at 813-917-1894, or check out our website, realestateradiotampa.com. And we want you to go out there and please consider making a random act of kindness. Go up and buy a police officer's coffee, buy his lunch, pick up his lunch, and tell him that we appreciate you. So go out there and consider making a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.